through the pandemic, earning praise from the right and derision from the left. And the people of Florida seem to like his first term. He was reelected in overwhelming numbers last fall.
Gowdy.
And today he announced
fire
his
your barber,
candidacy
you
to be
fucking
the next
dingus.
president of the United States. And
Trey Gowdy. Hey, howdy. I'm Trey Gowdy. Oh, dude. Oh, my God. He's doing an interview. Oh, my God. At the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. If you want to see the interview uninterrupted, then all you need to do is subscribe.
Confronting our culture and our country. I can't promise you that I won't crash, but Fox News will not crash during this interview. Governor
fucking
DeSantis,
got him. Just got owned by Trey Gowdy. Oh,
Twitter,
no. Oh, no, brother.
And the Kardashians are going to be very upset with you.
Don't get owned by the 3-minute ad break, by the way. Subscribe for $5 or free. Rally Stash, thank you for the 5. Get the subs live. 5 people that no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky.
Break the Twitter space. And so we're really excited with the enthusiasm. But ultimately, it's about the future of our country. Trey, I'm running to lead a great American comeback. We know the country's on the wrong track. We see it with our eyes. We feel it in our bones. We see the border being overrun. We see crime infesting the cities. We see the federal government making it more difficult for families to make ends meet. And we have a president who is a listless vessel, not energetic, and not dealing with the key challenges that are facing our country. But it does not have to be this way. Our decline as a country is not inevitable. It is a choice. And I think we can choose a better pathway. And so what I will do is help restore normalcy to our communities, integrity to our institutions, and sanity to our society. Truth needs to be the foundation of everything we do, and common sense can no longer be an uncommon virtue. We proved it could be done in Florida. We chose facts over fear when it wasn't popular. We chose education over indoctrination. And we've chosen law and order over rioting and disorder. If we can do it there, we can do it for the country. And the pledge I'll make for people is simply this. We need to win again as Republicans. We got to dispense with this culture of losing. And if you nominate me, I pledge to you that on January 20th, 2025 at high noon, that I'll be the guy on the west side of the Capitol with the left hand on the Bible and the right hand in the air, taking the oath of office as the 47th president of the United States. No more excuses. We've got to get this one done. And anybody that's so inclined to help us, I would love to have your support at RonDeSantis.com. If you make a donation, maybe we can break that part of the internet as well.
Governor, you anticipated my first question, which is why. My second question would be, why now? You are very young in terms of political years. I don't even think you're 45 yet. So why now? And what distinguishes you from the other candidates? Are there policy differences, or is it more about electability and how you would implement those policies, even if you agree on them?
Well, why now? I think it's because the country's going in the wrong direction. If we have another 4 years of the Biden administration, I think some of the damage is going to...
Okay, this is literally Pete Buttigieg's speech, by the way. He's doing Pete Buttigieg's speech. We must restore sanity.
To really move the country in a much stronger direction.
Oh my God, he's
really
repeating the same thing.
A lot of bold leadership to bear. Why me? Well, I think what we've been able to do in Florida is two things. One, we've had unprecedented policy success. All the things that we believe as Republicans or as conservatives for many, many years, we've been able to take those values and those principles and actually turn them into reality. Every single day we put up big wins on the board, but we're doing that while also enjoying major political success. You alluded to it. We were able to win re-election by a historic margin, over 1.5 million votes. And you can't do that in a swing state like Florida just by getting Republicans. We were able to win counties like Miami-Dade County, which had voted for Hillary Clinton by 30 points in 2016. We not only won it, we won it by double digits. We earned 60% of the Hispanic vote. We won independents by 18 percentage points. And now, for the first time since the Civil War era, there's not a single Democrat elected in statewide office in the state of Florida. You got to be able to win. And then when you get in office, you've got to be able to deliver results. And I think we've been able to do both of those as good or better than anybody in the country.
All right. Speaking of delivering results, if you were to become the president, one of the first issues you would confront is inflation. What would you do about inflation? And do you believe it is linked to deficit spending? And can deficit spending be addressed without addressing mandatory spending or what people call entitlements?
Of course, the overspending is driving inflation. I mean, if you go back to March of 2020, you've seen massive amounts of debt added. You've seen the Federal Reserve print trillions and trillions of dollars.
Oh my God, they're
Anybody
going to
knew
ruin
at the
him.
time, and people like our friend Thomas Massey were screaming from the rooftops at the time that it was going to lead to persistent inflation.
Yeah, keep saying
So you need to
overspending
spend
is
less
bad,
money.
dude. Yeah,
You also
that's
need
that's
to
it. That's the
expand
golden
domestic
ticket for
energy
you.
Production. Energy costs contribute to inflation. We have an abundance of resources here that this president doesn't want to use. So we will reverse Biden's energy policies very quickly. But we also need a Federal Reserve that's going to focus on maintaining a stable dollar. They should not be the economic central planner for our country. They're not accountable to anybody. They're not elected by anybody. And yet,
Bro, who is he speaking to? Like, oh yeah, we gotta fucking keep the Federal Reserve in check. Like, I get what he's saying. It's not wrong, okay? But who the fuck are you speaking to, man? Only the biggest goobers are like, yeah, he's actually right. We need good, we don't need good we need good fiscal policy. We can no longer control the inflation through monetary policy. That's demonstrably failed. That's the kind of shit that like losers like myself understand what you're saying, but like that's not exactly a good strategy. What the fuck? It's like, again, it's like Elizabeth Warren regularly talking about the intricacies of her of her policies, which, by the way, no one will hold Trump to the same account as they did to Bernie Sanders, because like they were always like, Elizabeth Warren has policies, big structural Bailey. Have you heard of that? Why don't you, Bernie? Is it because you're a man? Meanwhile, the Republican media apparatus is not going to do that to Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump. They're not going to turn to Trump and be like, Ron DeSantis has policy provisions about dialing in the Fed. Do you? Like, they're not. They're not going to do that.
How much money is being spent, and I think he's been singularly irresponsible in terms of how he's handled the federal budget.
All right, Governor, people
She
hear
cleared
words and
Bernie,
sometimes
I
use
fear.
words like,
I mean, yeah, she did end up causing Bernie's demise a little bit, but Bernie cleared her in her own fucking state. It was embarrassing. It was pathetic.
and I'll ask you specifically about
Loser.
education, because many conservatives think that's a state issue, but that's also a battleground for what people call woke or culture wars. As president, what role do you play? I know governor, but as president, what role would you play?
Well, first of all, the woke mind virus is basically a form of cultural Marxism. At the end of the day, it's an attack on the truth. And because it's a war on truth, I think we have no choice but to wage a war on woke. So how does that work for a president? Some of it may be the bully pulpit, being willing to tell the truth and not being deluded by ideology, which we see in many aspects of our society.
He says
there
he's
are
gonna
probably ways,
use the
though,
bully
that you
pulpit.
can make a difference. Certainly, when you look at ESG and some of the things that's going on with major financial institutions in corporate America, we have every right to be pushing back on that. With education, the federal government approves the accreditors for universities. There's a reason why universities are infested with things like DEI. Yeah, some of it is they may want to do that, but some of it is the accreditors tell them you have to do that. Well, as president,
They're trying to make DEI the new CRT.
the opposite. That are going to say, you know what, we're going to credit you if you are a colorblind university, if you're not trying to divide people.
Didn't Jean Favreau bring on shit on you for bringing up the bully pulpit? No, the bully pulpit is very powerful. Except if you're running for president, you don't say the words bully pulpit. You say, I'm going to motivate people to do the right thing, because the people know that our cause is just. You never say, I'm going to fight from the bully pulpit, because that's just saying you're going to message your way into a fucking policy. Okay? Me saying the bully pulpit as a political commentator is entirely different than a fucking person who's like supposed to be utilizing the bully pulpit. It's crazy. DEI, for the record, for those of you who don't know, are corporate diversity programs. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, I think that's what it means. Let me tell you something. DEI is just liberal methods of making money for an entire fucking cottage industry that was developed by the white fragility and the the fear that white liberals have of coming across as racist. Okay, that's it. And it's a farm, and it's an operation where you can fucking milk pretty hard. It's basically just PR for corporations. It doesn't mean anything. Okay, it's stupid as fuck. I would go so far as to say that it's like even dumber than CRT, which like critical race theory in and of itself and the way that we understand it is entirely different than the actual critical race theory being taught in like law school or whatever. Okay. But it's just another, yeah, exactly. It's just another HR position. Okay. DEI is bullshit. It's fake. It doesn't fucking matter. It's stupid as fuck. Constantly fucking hammering it when, you know, you don't have an entire media apparatus making people angry at DEI is probably not the best thing to fight for. To be fair, I got my internship through a DEI initiative, so it's chill to me. Yeah, dude, listen. There are a bunch of kids, they're like 19, 20 that I play basketball with, and they want to break into this space on the coding side. And the things I talk to them about is exactly that. I'm like, dude, there's so many DEI initiatives. Just fucking take advantage of that. That's entirely separate than like DEI corporate woke scolding or whatever the fuck that is supposed to be like eliminating racism. Yeah, no, get the bag, obviously. Take advantage of like liberals being like, oopsie, we're not going to really do anything about racism and we're going to keep fucking giving money to Republican candidates. But like, you know, at the same time, look at us. We hired like black interns or whatever. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. You know, get the bag. Do the networking. All that stuff is great. Get your foot through the fucking door. But if we're talking about like DEI initiatives and the way that it works and like corporations, is what do you mean DEI is effective? Okay, dude. Sure. It's like greenwashing. Nobody's saying that the efforts are bad, just that they're not enough. It's bullshit too. It's just like pandering for the sake of fucking making it seem like you're creating a woke environment. You know what I mean? Many of you who say, oh, I got my internship through DEI, will probably in the next 5 to 10 years feel the impact of a racist manager. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not something that works, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not real. It's just like it might get your foot through the door. It's a different flavor of like a diversity initiative, okay? But it's not there to like actually address material problems. If any of you were to watch the mandatory DEI shit my company makes us watch, you would think it's bullshit, chat. Yeah, it's all like tugging on the heartstrings of people who have feelings of white fragility for the most part. And in my opinion, and I have no fucking empirical evidence to tell you whether this works or not, so maybe it does actually work. Maybe fucking old white people do go, you're right. I should check my white. I should re-examine my white privilege after watching a seminar or some shit. Not white fragility. Sorry, I meant white guilt. I apologize. But ultimately, it's not that big of a fucking. It's not a problem because it's not. It's not even a problem in the sense that like right wingers try to claim it is, because it's not even a real thing. Not like. DEI is just anti-union busting technique. It gives people a sense of community, keep them from unionizing. I mean, I don't know about that either, but maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. But of course, there's a lot of liberalism in this community as well. Many of you are leftists or claim to be leftists, but baby leftists at heart, so you don't really think about it anywhere a little bit deeper than like the immediate impact that you think some initiative is supposed to have. Okay. Regardless, though, it doesn't matter. The only way to legitimately offer material restitution, it's not irregardless. Regardless is the correct term. Shut up. The only way to truly offer the only way to truly solve problems of racism, misogyny, and whatnot, both in the workplace, but in society in general is by creating material equality for said marginalized communities that we're talking about. Okay, that's it. Anything else is just, you know, Band-Aid. That's it. So that's my take on it.